Liam Lawson held back Max Verstappen. Let that sink in for a moment. The four-time world champion, the man who makes the RB21 perform miracles, was stuck behind a Racing Bulls driver who was written off just months ago. But here's what makes this story truly fascinating. According to team insiders, this single moment in Hungary might have just saved Lawson's Formula One career and simultaneously put Yuki Tsunoda's seat in serious jeopardy. The second Red Bull seat has become F1's most dangerous chair, and today we're going to uncover why Lawson's resurrection could spell the end for Tsunoda's Red Bull dream. Let's start with the brutal reality facing Red Bull right now. Yuki Tsunoda has scored just 10 points as a Red Bull driver. 10! To put that in perspective, Lawson scored 20 points in Racing Bulls after his brief two-race stint at Red Bull earlier this season. The math here is terrifying for anyone trying to defend Tsunoda's performance. But this isn't just about points, it's about a pattern that's becoming impossible to ignore. While Tsunoda dominated at AlphaTauri, outperforming both Ricciardo and De Vries, something fundamental has gone wrong since his promotion to the main team. The car that Verstappen somehow wrestles into championship-winning positions seems to resist every other driver who touches it. Helmut Marko hasn't been subtle about his frustration. His recent comments about Tsunoda's future have been, frankly, harsh. The Austrian advisor made it clear that beating Max might be impossible, but Tsunoda needs to get the best out of himself and the team. The implication? Everything is open, and they're watching every performance, both positive and negative. But here's where this story takes an unexpected turn, and it involves a man who knows both drivers better than anyone else at Red Bull. Laurent Mekies changes everything in this equation. The former Racing Bulls team principal, now leading Red Bull, has worked intimately with both Lawson and Tsunoda. This isn't just about performance data on spreadsheets. Mekies knows their habits, their adaptability, their mental resilience under pressure. According to sources close to the team, Mekies has been adamant that the priority is giving Tsunoda a chance. But, and this is crucial, if Tsunoda fails to deliver, the driver pool will be exploited to the maximum. That's not corporate speak. That's a clear warning that change is coming. Lawson himself seems aware of the shifting dynamics. In recent interviews, he's been refreshingly honest about his situation. Honestly, in terms of my future, it's been so busy this year that I'm not really thinking about it right now. I'm focused on having some good races. Obviously, we've had some strong performances recently, but 3 of them isn't enough for over 12 races. The key phrase there? Then we'll see. Lawson knows something is building. What makes this particularly intriguing is the timing. Christian Horner's departure was reportedly due to performance issues, according to Marko. Red Bull operates on one principle: results. The political landscape has shifted, and Mekies brings a fresh perspective on driver evaluation. But there's a technical revelation that completely changes how we should view this entire situation. Here's what nobody talks about. The RB21 might be fundamentally broken. Mekies himself admitted something remarkable when asked about transferring successful elements from the Racing Bulls car to the RB21. No, we can't fix our problems by taking things from the Racing Bulls car to find more performance with the RB21. There is a genesis of the car where the cars are coming from is too different for anyone to transfer anything from one car to another. Think about the implications of this statement. The Racing Bulls car has been competitive, fighting for 8th place in the Constructors' Championship. Meanwhile, the RB21, supposedly the superior machine, only works for one driver. Without Verstappen, Red Bull would genuinely be a midfield team right now. This technical reality reframes everything about driver performance. When Lawson was dropped after 2 races, the official explanation was that the team didn't think he could improve with the RB21. But what if the real issue wasn't driver adaptation? What if the car itself is the problem? Lawson's recent surge in form with Racing Bulls proves he has the pace. His P8 finish in Hungary, where he held back Verstappen, sends a clear message: give me proper machinery and I'll deliver results. This is where Lawson's story becomes a tale of redemption, but also where Tsunoda's Red Bull future hangs by a thread. The numbers don't lie, and they're telling a brutal story for Tsunoda. Meanwhile, Lawson has been building momentum, race by race, proving that reports of his F1 death were greatly exaggerated. Many had written Lawson off completely. The narrative was that Oliver Bearman would become Tsunoda's new teammate, while Lawson would be searching for opportunities elsewhere. But racing has a way of humbling predictions, and Lawson's resurgence has been nothing short of spectacular. The Hungary performance stands as a defining moment. Holding back a four-time world champion isn't luck, it's skill, racecraft, and mental strength. For a driver who had lost confidence after his Red Bull disappointment, this was a statement: I'm not going down without a fight. Marco's recent warning to Tsunoda couldn't be clearer. We need performance, and we need it now. There's no golden boy treatment remaining. Every race weekend becomes a job interview, and the competition for that seat includes not just Lawson, but also rising stars like Isaac Hadjar and Oliver Bearman. But here's the twist that could determine both drivers' futures, and it involves a risk that might make Lawson think twice. Is the Red Bull seat actually a promotion right now? This question reveals the complexity of Lawson's situation. The Racing Bulls have been genuinely competitive, fighting for points consistently. The RB21, despite being the senior car, seems to destroy driver confidence and careers. If Tsunoda gets replaced, his Red Bull family journey likely ends permanently. Horner's old philosophy still echoes through the team. There's no point returning a driver who's been part of the system for 5 years and couldn't deliver. Racing Bulls would prefer fresh talent like Bearman for their rebuilding process. For Lawson, this represents the ultimate gamble. He has one advantage over other candidates: he's actually driven for Red Bull before. Yes, it was a disaster, but it's experience. However, accepting a return means risking his rebuilt confidence against a car that seems designed to humble drivers. Mekies might offer more patience this time, having worked with Lawson extensively. He understands the driver's characteristics, adaptation patterns, and mental approach. But the fundamental question remains: can anyone other than Verstappen truly tame the RB21? The technical problems run deep. The upgrades aren't working, the development direction seems confused, and even Verstappen has begun struggling with the beast he previously dominated. Throwing young drivers into this situation feels like career roulette. This story has multiple endings, and none of them are guaranteed. Tsunoda could find his form and secure his future. Lawson could get his redemption arc and prove the doubters wrong. Or Red Bull could continue cycling through drivers, hoping someone emerges as the next Verstappen. What we know for certain is that Mekies holds the cards. His evaluation of both drivers, combined with their upcoming performances, will determine not just who sits in that Red Bull seat, but how the entire Red Bull driver program evolves. The next few race weekends become crucial. Tsunoda needs points, consistently. Lawson needs to maintain his upward trajectory. And Red Bull needs to decide whether they're developing drivers or destroying them with an untamable car. Watch Tsunoda's body language in the coming races. Watch how aggressively Red Bull manages his media commitments. Watch for any hints about contract discussions or driver program changes. The vultures are circling, and performance is the only defense. What do you think? Is Lawson's comeback story destined for a Red Bull return? Or should he stay where he's finding success? Drop your predictions in the comments, and let's see who calls this one correctly. The 2026 silly season starts now, and this could be just the beginning of a massive driver shuffle across the grid.